start seated. Come on up to a comfortable seat. And just close your eyes. Sit up really tall, so sprout up and out through the crown of your head. And turn your palms to face down. Good. From a cross-legged seat, take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. Inhale through your nose. And exhale. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. Feel your sit bones fall down onto your yoga mat. And now press your hands together at your heart and bow your head down into your hands. Take a moment here to set an intention, something that makes sense to you. What do you need? What do you want? Maybe something you want to let go of. Lift up your head, blink open your eyes. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. Spread your fingers wide. Press your hands together. Exhale, lower your hands down through your heart center. Interlace your hands when they hit your chin. Now push your palms down. Inhale with your hands still interlaced. Lift your hands all the way back up. Place your palms together. Exhale your hands through your heart center. Let's keep doing this. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Imagine you're taking energy, pulling it up, reaching it up and out. Exhale, grab some energy from the sky, pull it in. Interlace your hand, push it down so it starts to move through your whole body. And then inhale, reach those palms forward. Really press through each of your fingers. Come back up. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. This time, exhale, rotate towards the left. Lower your hands down so your right hand is behind you. Your left hand comes to your right thigh. Inhale, lift through the crown of your head. Exhale, look back behind you. Inhale, really strong, active fingers. Come back through center, reach your arms up. And exhale, rotate in the opposite direction. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, drift your gaze back behind you. Exhale, come back through center. Take your arms up, up, up one more time. And then exhale your hands to your heart. Lift up your legs and just switch whichever leg is in front with the opposite leg. So you're still in your seat. Good. Walk your hands forward. Start to round into your spine and fold forward by any amount. So you're just in this cross-legged forward fold. And you might come all the way down like a turtle shell with your back. 5 breaths here. From here, crawl your body forward so you can come up onto all fours. Stack your joints. Inhale, drop your tummy, loop your shoulders back, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale to round. Inhale, drop your belly, pin your shoulder blades together as you spread across your chest. Exhale to round. One more time. Inhale, drop your tummy, peel your shoulders back, lift your gaze, brighten open eyes. Exhale, round. Take your hands one step forward. Bring your hands one step forward. Slide your right knee behind your right wrist. Extend back through your left leg and fall down into pigeon pose. Take 5 breaths here. Press into your hands, lift your torso back up. Just slide that right knee back beside the left knee. Come through cat-cow again. This time, drop your belly, loop your shoulders back, lift up and look up. And as you exhale and round your spine, could you push through your palms and drop your bum to your heels? And then inhale, slither your body forward, really mobilizing through your spine, coming into that cow shape. As you move into your cat, your rounded spine, push your palms into the floor and drop your hips to your heels. Do that one more time, just slithering your body around in a very animalistic way. And now come right back up onto all fours. Slip your left knee behind your left wrist. Extend back through your right leg and fall down to a sleeping pigeon shape. There's 5 breaths here. And just notice how it feels to do pigeon straight away in your practice, to come into this bigger lateral hip stretch. Notice how it might feel a bit more resistant in your body. Gradually straighten through your arms, imprint your hands into the floor, flex your back foot, float up into a downward facing dog, but a really short downward dog, so your feet are quite close to your hands. You can bend your knees here. Stay rooted through your left hand. Reach your right arm underneath your body. Catch your left ankle, left leg really anywhere, and look under your left armpit. Inhale. Exhale, replace that right hand down beside the left. Take the left hand under your body. Grab the outer right leg. Peer under your right armpit. Take a big breath in. Good. Exhale, lower your left hand. Drop your knees down to the floor. Sit back into your cross-legged seat once again. Keep your left leg on the floor and step your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. So we'll come into a seated spinal twist. Walk your right hand behind you. Inhale your left arm up. And as you exhale, bend your left elbow, press it against your right thigh. Activate all of your left fingers and rotate to the right. Yeah, you got it. Push through your right foot and your left thigh. Inhale, lengthen the crown of your head. Exhale, look back behind you. Inhale and exhale. Come back through center. Listen carefully. Just place that right ankle over your left knee, and you can move your left foot forward at all if you want, and then start to fold forward. So you're in another variation of pigeon. We call this double pigeon pose. Right ankle resting somewhere along your left thigh, and you're folding forward 5 breaths. Really slow and deep work through your hip flexors to start today. Notice if you're clenching your jaw, can you soften your jaw? Take one more breath in. Exhale, sink a little deeper. And then inhale, lift yourself back up and simply switch legs. So now your right leg is down on the floor as you step your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Carefully rotate your spine. Take your left hand behind you. Inhale your right arm up, really active through those fingers. Then bend at your right elbow, place it across your left thigh, and start to drive your gaze back behind you. Keep pushing through your right thigh and your left foot, reaching up through the crown of your head and turning your gaze behind you. Now unwind, just back to neutral. You can manually move your left ankle so it's now set on top of your right thigh. By any amount, it doesn't have to be big. Start to pour your weight forward. And your legs might look more like crossed legs or chicken bones sprouting out. Don't worry about how it looks so long as you feel something in your outer hip. 5 breaths. Good. Walk your hands back in towards your body. Lift up that left leg. Move it out to the side and place the soles of your feet together. Make your legs really, really wide. Take your arms and scoop your arms under your legs. Scoop your arms under your legs and let your head fall by any amount.
You can flutter your legs here by any amount if that feels good. You're coming into this reclined butterfly pose where you're trapping your arms underneath your body. 5 breaths. First, start to unwrap your arms, so take your hands out from underneath your body. Then place the soles of your feet on your yoga mat about, about mat distance apart. Use your hands to pop you up and forward. So here you are now, you're in a malasana shape or a wide-legged squat. Toes face out in this shape and the heels might be lifted really high away from the floor. Place your hands together. Good. Inhale. Exhale, take your left hand onto the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Either stay here or turn your right fingers and palm to face behind you. Bend into your right elbow. Reach back with your right hand. See if you can catch palms. And maybe you just grab your shirt behind your back. Inhale here, just one breath. Exhale, unwind, take the opposite arm, your right arm, in front of its knee. Place the palm on the floor and send your left arm up. Inhale. Exhale, bend into that arm if you want. You don't have to. And see if you can find a bind here with your arms. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Place your fingers on the floor. Start to rise from your butt. So lift your bum up first. Lift your bum up first. Heel toe your feet so they're just hip distance apart. Bend into your knees and interlace your hands right at the base of your skull. Let your elbows fall down. You're actually doing this really subtle shearing of all of your upper back muscles here. Breathe for 3 deep breaths. Lower your hands to the floor, walk your hands forward, walk your knees back, find downward facing dog and get really used to it. So just bend into one knee, bend into the other knee, shift your hips side to side. Now bend into both knees, look forward, step all the way to the top of your yoga mat. Inhale, lift your heart halfway. Exhale, fold. Root through your feet to rise all the way up. Send your arms to the sky. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Take mountain pose with your hands alongside your body, your pubic bone lifting, your tailbone dropping. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Exhale, bend at your knees, hinge forward, graze the floor with your fingers. Inhale, lift your heart and then your chest, reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, plant your palms, step your right foot back, listen carefully, step your right foot back, drop your right knee to the floor, inhale both arms up overhead, you're in a low lunge. Exhale, take your hands to the floor, step forward, inhale halfway. Exhale, lower your palms, take your left foot back, drop that left knee. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, take your hands to the floor. Inhale, step your left foot forward, straighten through your spine. Exhale, fold, clasp opposite elbows, let your head hang heavy, and just wave your body left to right. Press down through the 4 corners of both feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Stretch your fingers to the sky. Exhale your hands to your heart. Hold here 3 breaths, mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Stretch back ever so slightly this time. Exhale, ripple your weight down. Fingers touch the earth. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, push your tailbone back in space. Exhale, plant your palms, step your right leg back. Stay lifted through the right leg. So your right leg is really strong. Scissor your inner thighs together. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, take your hands to the floor. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step your left leg back, rise all the way up into a high lunge. Exhale, lower your hands to the earth. Step your left foot forward as you inhale your spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, spring all the way up to standing. Exhale, fold right down through your body to the floor. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step your right foot back. Scissor your inner thighs together, extend both arms up overhead, hold here. Breathe into this high lunge for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, rotate your right foot parallel with the back of your yoga mat. Bend really deep into your left knee so that left heel intersects with the arch of your right foot. Open your arms wide. Turn your gaze over your left fingers. Sink deeper through your hips. Inhale. Exhale, that's 1. We're here for 5. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Can you externally rotate your front thigh so that knee is driving over your third toe and you can see your big toe? 1 more big breath in. Exhale, place your left elbow onto your left thigh. Take your right hand to your hip. Zip up through your midline, so really engage your legs before you take that right arm either directly up to the sky or out alongside your ear. Now the work here is to keep your toes soft, so lift up all 10 toes and relax them. Push through the outside edge of your right foot and then pull up through the inner arches of your feet. What does that feel like? That should stimulate an engagement of your leg muscles. Now pull your inner thighs up and back, draw your tailbone down, and start to roll your right ribs up. Could you look up? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep both arms up and extend your front leg. Take your left fingers forward, lower your left fingers towards your shin, and reach your right arm up overhead. All those same cues, you're grounding through the outer edge of your right foot, lifting through your inner arches, drawing your inner thighs up and back while you take your tailbone down. Your belly feels really firm here. And then could you take your left arm and reach your left arm forward? So it's a bit of a strange triangle pose today. Yeah. Draw your right ribs up, squeeze through your legs. If you feel lower back pain, engage your legs even more for 3, 2, and 1. Push into your feet, rise all the way back up. Take your back hand down your back thigh and find an exalted triangle. So reach your left arm up alongside your left ear. Good. Cartwheel both hands down towards the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Please bend into your knees, look forward, hop or step forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back into a high lunge. Widen your legs so you feel stable. Scissor your inner thighs together. Now stretch both arms up overhead and find this statuesque appearance in this shape. So everything is strong and steady and firm. Resist the temptation to readjust. Just be here for 3, 2, and on 1, open your arms wide out to either side. Readjust your feet so your back foot is parallel with the back of your mat. Your front heel intersects with the arch of your back foot. Your legs, your bum, everything is so strong and you're dripping your weight down. That right knee drives over your third toe. You can see your big toe, and if not, externally rotate your front thigh until you can. If this feels so easy, so accessible, sink a little deeper, engage a little more, and rotate until you have your shoulders directly above your hips. Breathe here. Place your right elbow onto your thigh. Your left hand starts at your hip just to initiate that action of drawing your left ribs up. Now take your left arm either to the sky or up alongside your left ear. Notice if your knee has drawn back, bend deeper into that front knee, engage your legs, draw your glutes towards one another. Firm down through your feet. Inhale, rise all the way up. Find triangle pose. Lowering that right hand down towards your shin. Your left arm comes up just to start. Get really stable here. Set your left thumb just above your nose if you were to gaze up towards it. Now turn your gaze forward or down and take your right hand out like you're creating a giant L shape with your body here, with your arms. Use the strength of your left glute to hold you in this place for 3, 2, on 1. Root down to rise all the way up and back, leaning into your back leg. Your right hand comes up overhead. Good. Take your time here. Cartwheel both hands down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Inhale, hover your weight forward. Hold in high plank, maybe low plank, depending on where you're at. Puff between your shoulder blades, lift your gaze forward, breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, bend your elbows so you can lower all the way down onto your tummy, turn onto the tops of your feet. Take your hands alongside your body. Palms are facing your hips. Bring your big toes together. Inhale, pinch your shoulder blades together and lift up. Lift your toes, lift your hands, lift your knees. Your gaze can be up or down. Breathe here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your left cheek to the floor. Close your eyes. Just wiggle your bum side to side. Take your hands forward now, palms facing down. Palms facing down about the height of a block. I'm using a bolster to demo, so lift your hands about the height of a block. Lift your forehead up off the floor, draw your shoulders back, bring up your toes, and then lift up your hands the height of another block. So if I were to stack another bolster on top of this one, that's how high my hands would be. Inhale, spring up through your chest. Exhale, bend your elbows and lift up even higher. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Come up even higher. Now release opposite cheek to the floor. Wiggle your bum. Soften here. And bring your forehead back down to the mat. Bend into both knees. Stretch your hands back, catch your ankles or the outside edges of your feet. Push your feet away. Hold on to them with your hands. Good. Upward bow pose. Stay here, hold here. Breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower back down. This time bend your knees and rock your knees from side to side. All right, let's do something a little silly. Reach back, catch your ankles with your hands. Push your pubic bone down, lift up again into upward bow. And this time, could you try to roll over onto your right shoulder? And when you get there, you can kick your feet away, push your pubic bone forward, squeeze your glutes together. And then try, and it might not work, but try to come back through center. And spring back up into that back bend. And then roll over to the other side. And when you get there, push your pubic bone forward, kick your feet back. Do that one more time to either side. So just go at your own pace. You're really, really challenging your own proprioception here and your own familiarity with shapes.
Good. Last time to the other side. You have pointy hip bones. This can be a bit painful. And then come back through center. Relax everything down. Push back right away and find child's pose with your knees wide and your arms outstretched overhead. 5 breaths. Good. In child's pose, turn your palms to face up. Bend your elbows, walk your elbows forward, and take your hands towards your shoulders and just sink in here a little more. Come forward onto all fours. Good. My hips are still above my knees, but my hands now are further forward. So much further forward that when I drop my belly and my forehead towards the floor, my bum is still above my knees, more or less, and I feel a big stretch through my arm and shoulder. Turn your palms to face up again, or place them together and bring your thumbs back to the nape of your neck. 5 breaths. Go ahead, lower your hands down to the floor. Push yourself up and back. Find downward facing dog. Inhale through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Please drop your knees down onto the floor and take your feet really wide and sit your bum down between your heels. That might be impossible depending on the flexibility of your ankle joints. Good. You can place a prop under your bum if you'd like. Turn your fingers to face your body, and maybe you're here, and this is where you work through your hero variation. But some body types might take this a little further, so you could come down onto your elbows, maybe even on to the crown of your head. Perhaps your whole spine descends to the floor. And if you feel pain, particularly pain that emanates or starts from your knee joint, back off and lift up a little higher. 5 breaths. Good, nice and slow. Walk your hands back in towards your body. Come forward, find downward facing dog again. Inhale here. Exhale, out through your mouth. Now look towards your hands. Take your right elbow and then your left elbow down onto the floor. Palms are still flat on the floor. And let your head hang here between your forearms. Walk your feet in a few inches closer. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, lower your right leg back down. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, lower your left leg down. Drop your knees right in close towards one another. Place your belly on your thighs. Reach your hands back behind you. You might even interlace them. And come into a bound child's pose. So we're really closed in child's pose. 5 breaths. Lift up onto your knees. Let the crown of your head fall onto the floor. Your hands are bound behind you or they reach up overhead. Strange, strange shapes to train our bodies. New way to move. New ways to move. Lower your hands down to your lower back. And then walk your hands forward. Interlace your hands out in front of you. Interlace your hands. Like you've created a little basket to catch your head. Place the crown of your head down on the floor so the back of your skull is falling into
The back of your skull is falling into your hands. Your elbows are pushing firmly into the floor. Now plug your shoulder blades back. Flex your feet, lift up, downward dog. This is called dolphin pose. You might continue to explore the action of lifting and bending your legs. Or you might start to walk your feet in so close that it feels like maybe if you pushed through your elbows, you could lift up into a little half headstand. And if you get there, you might go all the way into a full headstand. But just flirt or toy, it's really tough, with the idea of taking your toes, even just one toe or 1 foot, a few inches away from the mat. And after you've played with that for a few breaths, bring your knees wide and come back into your child's pose. In this child's pose, can you scoop your right arm under your left arm, take your right ear to the floor, walk your left fingers up overhead, and then start to wander your left fingers over towards the right long edge of your yoga mat. Breathe here. Return your left fingers back to their original resting place and switch sides. So now your right hand comes forward, left arm scoops under your right arm as your left ear comes to the floor. And then wander your right fingers up alongside your right ear towards the left long edge of your yoga mat. Breathe here. Release your right hand back down. Walk yourself up into a seat and take your hands all the way back behind you. Place your fingers on the floor. Place your feet on the floor. Fingers are facing your bum. Now push into your feet and come into a reverse tabletop position. So lift your pelvis up. So another way to explore mobility in the shoulder joint, but from a different relationship to gravity, right? We did lots of work from our tummy. You could, if you did this in saddle pose and it felt okay, let your head hang back. It could hurt, retreat back to where you started. Good, and now look forward, drop your bum to the floor. Take your time, come down onto your back and squish your knees into your chest. Just rock from side to side. Set your knees just above your hips and bring your internal sides, your medial sides of your feet together. Let's just place our hands alongside our body for this. Draw your chin into your chest, squish your knees together. And now could you drop your knees over towards the right, just until you start squishing your right wrist. Pull your knees back up through center and drop them over to the left until you're squishing your left wrist. So it's a very small range of motion. Take your knees a bit forward of your hips and do that again. So now you might be squishing your thumb or your fingers, depending on how long your arms are. Come to one side and come over to the other side. Okay, now take your arms out wide, like you're in a real spinal twist, and drop your knees over to the right until they hover just above the floor. Take a big breath into your left side, maybe even a yawn, and then exhale, pull them through center. Notice if they're moving up towards your face, draw them back down below your hips, and do that on the other side. Maybe a big yawn when you get there. Good. Last time, move those legs over to either side. Just massaging out, twisting out your spinal body. And the next time your legs come all the way over, you can take a little sigh of relief as you drop them down to the right. Take your right hand onto your left thigh and start to tug that leg down. You might even place it on your hip and just adjust your body like you're your own yoga teacher coming around with one of those sweet yoga adjustments at the end of class. Turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Take a big breath in. Exhale here. Lift your legs back up through center. Shift your hips to the right and try that on the other side. So your right arm is long, your left arm is Adding a little bit of resistance to that top leg. As you do this, you're constantly pinning your right shoulder into the earth. Perfect. Pull back through center and take your legs up. Take your legs up and just place your hands on your belly. Close your eyes. 5 breaths here. Lower your legs down to the floor. Flatten out your body, and before you find Shavasana, make everything really tense, like you're so riled up. Flex your fists, flex your feet, engage all your muscles, shrug your shoulders, clench your jaw, get everything really, really tense, like you're about to burst or explode with excitement or anger. And then relax it all down. We'll do that 2 more times. Tense it all up, tense everything up, engage, 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 and relax. And 1 more time, create even more tension. Finally, relax, release your Shavasana. Soften, quiet, and rest here. The moment your mind tries to take you out of Shavasana, go deeper into Shavasana. Ever so slowly, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Awaken with breath. Stretch your arms and your legs in opposite directions. Take a big yawn. Exhale, relax. Bend into both knees. Roll onto the right side of your body. And peel yourself away from your mat all the way up to a cross-legged seat. Take your hands together at your heart. Come back to the intention that you set. Say it to yourself silently 3 times. Thank you for practicing. Keep practicing. Namaste.